Hello travelers, if you are a solo female traveler like me, you know it can be one of the most empowering experiences. However, being safe is one of the foremost things on our mind when traveling solos. In today's video, we're going to be covering some essential safety tools that I like to take with me when traveling, as well as how to stay safe in your hotel room, maybe even in your car or in a ride share or just out on your travel adventures. So if you're ready to get going, make sure you hit the like button and the subscribe button. Let's get going. When you are out and about on your travel adventures, it's really easy to be distracted by looking at all the wonderful things and not being aware of your situation. And in all aspects, situational awareness is your best tool that you have with you all the time. From the moment I leave my house, hotel, or Airbnb to the moment I get back in, I am always situationally aware of, is there someone watching me? Is there someone who's staring at me? Is there someone sitting in a car, following me behind me for a few blocks, that type of thing, that I'm just aware of that, and then looking for places. Can I duck in someplace and get into a public place where I feel more confident, there's people around me, or I can call and get help? So those are all things that help you in your travel adventures. Is your number one tool is self-awareness. That then will enable you to be able to say, okay, maybe I do need to have my pepper spray in my hand, or I do need to have my knife out or something like that, that you have something about you, your wits about you, and then practice these things. So even in your everyday just walking, as a woman, I'm always practicing that, whether I'm at home, in my home environment, or traveling. So practicing those things helps you be aware and keeps you more safe than anything. The other thing about being self-aware is making sure that if you're going to want to wear earphones, maybe you only wear one or don't wear any at all. I know many of us like to go out for a walk and you want to listen to a podcast or something. Put one in your ear, leave the other ear open so you can kind of hear what's going on in your surroundings. That's really important, is to not have both ears with noise canceling headphones on. People who want to get to you will notice that, and they're going to say, I know she can't hear me coming up behind her or something like that. That catches you off guard. You want to be able to hear things behind you. That happened to me when I was out hiking. I heard the gravel behind me of someone coming up, and I was able to turn and see that someone was following me. The person had turned around and started following me. That gave me that situational awareness that this person is following me and I need to move faster and I need to get to a place where I felt safe. So don't put both noise canceling or any noise canceling headphones or earphones on your head when you're out and about. One of the must-have tools for almost every solo traveler is pepper spray. However, you do need to be cognizant that not every country will allow you to have pepper spray with you. So you need to research that before you go. Is that country going to allow you to have it, or is that going to get you in trouble? So do your research to be sure you're allowed to bring it. The other thing is, although TSA allows you to put pepper spray in your checked baggage, not every airline is going to allow you to do that. For example, American Airlines or United Airlines, they do not allow you to have pepper spray in your checked or carry-on bag. You're not allowed to bring it. The other thing you need to be aware of is, in the United States, all 50 states will allow you to have pepper spray, but there are different regulations for it. For some, it is you have to buy that pepper spray at a licensed firearm place. You have to be over the age of 18. You cannot have a felony or certain misdemeanors. It has to be within a certain range of weight, etc. So you want to do your research before you bring pepper spray with you. Now, in my everyday travels here in the United States, and I live in California, I carry these things with me all the time. They're also pepper sprays. This one I leave in my car because it has a window breaker and it also has a seatbelt cutter. I leave that right in the handle of my car so that I can get to it, rather than something like this, which I don't always have with me. But this one I like to keep in my car because it has those extra features. This one I like to take when I'm out and about at night because it has a feature that has a loud alarm. So if you don't want to hear a loud alarm, I advise you to turn your volume way down or mute it, because I'm going to put this off right now and let you hear it. It's very, very loud. piercing loud. The other thing about this is the pepper spray only works when the alarm is on, so that it doesn't just get triggered by accident. So it's just nice to know that this will sound an alarm and allow me to use the pepper spray. The other thing I carry with me is this nice, it's a Robivon light. What I like about it is it fits nicely in my hand. I can go ahead, turn that on really bright. It's very bright, so it could almost like give someone a moment of blindness when, you know, if someone's like right in my face, but just also secure knowing that I have a nice light to be able to turn on. It also has a clip on it, so if I want to clip this on my belt, I like that. I also have a little whistle here, which is just a little whistle if I wanted to just whistle and get someone's attention, that kind of thing, and I don't want to set off the whole alarm. And a little multi-tool here. This multi-tool is also a pill carrier. I have a couple pills that I need to take with me all the time. This allows me to have it with me, and if I have to take it, it's right in here, and it has a little bottle opener and things like that. So this is just part of my everyday carry of things that I take. Even when I'm just taking a walk, I carry these things with me. Pepper spray is a classic self-defense tool because it can incapacitate an attacker and give you some time to get to safety. So that's why it's so widely used. However, like I mentioned before, not every place will allow you to carry it. However, I have found something that I can take with me on my travel adventures and take with me almost anywhere, and that is this. It's a compact dry pepper that's made to look like a food item, because it actually is a food item. It's actually real pepper that's in here. Now I can carry this anywhere. I can carry this through airport security because it's just pepper. There's no propellant or anything in it. It literally has an ingredients list on the back of what's in here. I can carry it into concerts. I can carry it into federal buildings. I can carry it into countries that don't allow you to have pepper spray because it's technically a food product. So that's why I've been carrying this lately. I did a video a couple of years ago about one time when I was out hiking, and I was approached by a man who said something like, "I think you're really good looking. I'd like to get to know you." And I kind of was like, "Get away from me." So there's this guy back there in the white shirt on the trail. He just came up to me and said, "I think you're really attractive. Is it okay if I get to know you?" Like, just out of the blue, stopped me. Oh, that was really creepy. Like, making sure he's not following me now. I videotape because he's coming up behind me. And I just want to get through this gate, get to my car. Back in my car. I don't know where he is. That seriously was like one of the creepiest moments I've ever had hiking out here. And I had pepper spray with me, but I thought, wow, what if I was in a place where they wouldn't allow me to have pepper spray? What would I bring with me at that point? And doing some research, that's when I came up with this, which is that Stop Pepper dry pepper powder. And I could travel with this almost anywhere, so I could have had this with me even in my pocket. This lid pops off and you can fling the pepper at someone and get it in their face and get them to just get away from you. So you can at least give yourself some distance and run to your car, whatever you needed to do, or get to a public place. So it's, for me, something that's just peace of mind, that knowing that I can just pack this in my carry-on luggage and go about my business, not worry about if it's lost with my luggage or in my checked luggage or anything like that, and that I can go anywhere with it because it's technically, literally just pepper. You can actually eat this stuff. If you could tolerate it, you could eat it. If you're a solo traveler or someone who just likes feeling secure and knowing you can take this wherever you want to go, I highly recommend getting something like this. Maybe one for the car and maybe one for your purse. I'll put a link for this in the video description so you can go ahead and get yourself some of this and take that with you whenever you're traveling, because again, because it's a food item, you'll be able to travel anywhere with this. The one thing I do want to say about using pepper spray or anything like that is you do want to be able to know how to use it properly, and you don't want to be fumbling around for it. You don't want it tucked in your purse somewhere where you've got to dig for it. Normally you want it to have it like in your hand, ready to go. And that means sometimes going out and practicing with it, maybe getting a couple so that you have one that you practice with, that you can go out into a field somewhere and practice using it so you know how far it sprays, what it's like in wind directions and things like that. you want to make sure you understand these wind directions, because if you're spraying it and the wind is coming at you, it's going to spray that pepper spray right back into your face and disable you. So be aware of that. If it's a little windy, you can pretty much tell maybe your hair's blowing a certain way, or you see flags or tree leaves blowing a certain way. Try to angle yourself so that you're away from the pepper spray blowing back at you. So that takes a little bit of practice and understanding, and that's one thing I would encourage you to do so that you don't end up disabling yourself using pepper spray. Now, if pepper spray isn't your gig and you want something else, this is another great thing. This is something that fits onto your hand like this. It has a sharp point. Now, these little things protect the point a little bit, but it has a sharp point. But I think the thing that's the best is it has a light, which acts as a flashlight, but it's also a taser. So that's going to incapacitate someone for a bit. The longer you tase them, the longer they're incapacitated. Again, these are things that you may not be able to travel with in certain countries, so you want to do your research on any of these items that can disable someone or that kind of thing before you use it. But if you feel like something you want to have is a taser, this is a great item to have. A personal safety alarm is another thing that every woman should have with her, just to be able to get someone's attention if they're feeling like they are threatened or something like that. This is another great one to have. It's nice and small. It has a light right like this, so you can use it as a light to look for things, or again to shine at somebody. It also flashes if you need it to flash, and it also has the alarm and is rechargeable. So again, I'm going to pull this. It's going to sound loud, so if you don't want to hear it, turn down your volume or mute it, but here we go. This is another great thing to have if you want to have some sort of noise around you to alert someone that you're in danger. Another great item to have. This bag goes with me on every trip, and it's really my hotel room safety bag. Let's go over what's in it. Okay, I want to talk to you about hotel room safety when you're traveling alone. Twice in my life, in the same town, I had somebody just burst into my hotel room when I was there. One was a cleaning person, and they had just cleaned my room, so I have no idea why they came back into my room. And the other one was a man who I think, literally now when I think about it, had been watching me leave my room every day to go to breakfast. And one day I forgot my phone, and I came back into my room, and like 15 seconds later, this guy just opened the door to my room and was shocked to see me, and he said, "Oh, I'm here to fix the TV." Well, he had no hotel uniform on. He had looked like a construction worker. They were having construction done at the hotel. And I said, "My TV's not broken." "Oh, I must have the wrong room," he said. But anyway, it could have turned out to be much worse. But I learned my lesson on certain things with this, which is to always have locks on my door. Now, I had just come back to my room for like literally 15 seconds to get my phone, and he walked in, so I didn't really want to lock my door, but it did teach me when I'm in my room, at least put that lock that swings over on your door to keep that locked so that someone doesn't walk in on you. Because heck, I could have been like just getting out of the shower and dressing, and like I said, you just can't unsee certain things. He would have been damaged for that. But anyway, when I'm staying in a hotel or Airbnb or anywhere where you have a door, and every room has a door, I carry something like this, which is a metal door jamb per se, and it has a section here for if you're going to a hotel and one if you're going into residential that actually fits into the slot, and then this just goes in here and it blocks your door. So it allows you to have the door completely blocked. Even if they have a key, they cannot get in. It's physically blocking the door from being opened. I like this one because it's metal and not plastic, and it just makes me feel more secure having that. And that goes on every night when I go to sleep, so that I know no one's going to come into my room while I'm actually sleeping in my hotel or Airbnb. And another thing on top of that I bring is if I'm at a hotel or Airbnb and I have a sliding window or something like that, I like to bring these little locks like this. This actually locks onto the window, and you tighten it up with this key so that if they try to open the window, they're going to have a very hard time. Nothing's foolproof, folks. Nothing is, but they're going to feel that resistance and probably know there's a lock. They're not going to be able to get in. Or if you want to have the window open for just a little bit to get some air, or you have children, this will lock it into place so that it doesn't just open and they don't go falling out the window. I generally only use this when I'm on a first floor type of thing. If I'm up on the second or third floor where no one's necessarily going to get to me, I won't use it. But it's nice to know that you have this and you can put this in a window or a sliding glass door to lock that up and keep you a little more safe. Use a device that will check for hidden cameras. Now, I use this one here that I'm showing you because it's small and compact. However, I will tell you, I don't know if it works because I've used it, but I've never found a camera. So it's either it doesn't work or there have never been any cameras any place that I've gone. So, you know, it's probably just peace of mind knowing that I have it with me. It's something that I carry and I do check. But again, I've never had it ever find a camera with me. I also bring a little packet like this when I travel, and it has some painter's tape and electrical tape and self-amalgamating tape and a little glow strip. But this painter tape is really great to help block the peephole. Most hotel rooms have a cover on the peephole, but if yours doesn't, you can simply use painter's tape and cover up that peephole. All right, the next thing I have in here is a motion censored alarm. And I'm not a huge fan of alarms because when I was in India once, the person next to me had an alarm and it went off and they were not in the room, and I don't know what set it off, but something did. And they had to have hotel security come up and unlock it and try to figure out how to turn the alarm off. But if you're someone who likes alarms, this is a great little alarm. It's just small, as you can see here. It's battery operated. And you just slide this down and there's a motion sensor here. And simply by putting on this auto sensor, now I'm going to just set this down here. It'll set after about 30 seconds. So what it's going to do is after about 30 seconds, that allows you time to like get out of the room and things like that. This will arm itself. So if there's any sort of motion, this thing's going to go off. So if you don't want to hear that, I advise you to turn your volume down now because I'm going to make it go off. It's pretty loud. You put the switch to off, it'll turn it off. And if you don't want this to go off, this slides up and protects the little eye from seeing everything and going off. So that's another alarm if you want to have in your hotel room to have an alarm go off. I would be careful about setting this on a floor. If there's some kind of shadow like underneath the door that it senses, it'll set this alarm off. So just be careful where you set it. Don't set it where you're going to be going to the bathroom and setting it off in the middle of the night. You just want to make sure it's pointed like maybe toward your hotel room door and where it's not going to catch any sort of motion or light because it will set that off. And as you can hear, it's pretty loud. The other thing is I always leave a do not disturb sign on my door. And that tells anybody, hotel staff, that I don't want to be disturbed. I could be filming, I could be sleeping, I could be, I don't know, dressing or whatever. It just lets them know, do not open the door. I don't have them come and clean my room every day. I don't need it cleaned every day. So I keep a do not disturb sign on my room. And if I'm going to be leaving my room, I also leave the TV on so it sounds like somebody's in there watching TV or doing something so that way there's less likely that someone's just going to walk in your room on you. If you're going to be going out and about and you want your personal things with you, having them in a nice bag like this that is RFID, it's also slash proof and has all of the personal things I want with me and special locks on here that keeps them from taking the strap off. Those are great things to help keep you protected. Another great thing I discovered recently was a pair of socks that has a pocket in it, just like this. What's nice about this is I can put in something like my ID and some money and a room key or a physical key, have that zipped up in my sock and have that with me. So if I don't want to be carrying a big purse or anything like that, it just allows me to have my essentials with me right in a sock. And that way, if someone were to say, hey, hand over your bag, I don't have to hand over everything. And for me personally, I carry my wallet with me all the time. I carry a small wallet like this, and I just keep it in a pair of cargo pants, shorts, or if I'm going to keep it in a back pocket, I make sure that there's snaps or zippers or Velcro or something that's going to keep it a little more safe. or in a front pocket where I'm going to feel someone more apt to try to get in there and take it. But if for some reason someone comes up to you and says, hand me your wallet, hand me everything, I'm going to hand it all over to them, but I'm going to at least have my ID, like my driver's license, a credit card, and maybe some cash in here so that I'm not completely out of luck with everything. So something like this might be helpful to take on your travel adventures. One thing I carry on me every single day, every day, is this, which is basically a box cutter. And then I can just get to my destination, and pretty much any hardware store, even gas stations sometimes, sell the utility blades that go in this, and I can put it in there. I have a blade I can open with one hand, quickly use it, and then go ahead and close it, and it goes into my pocket. I use this every day to open Amazon boxes, cut down boxes, out in my garden, opening up soil, whatever. I use this constantly. So I have a couple different varieties of here that I've tried all kinds. This is one of my favorites. You can buy a utility knife for really cheap at any hardware store with blades, have it on your travel adventure, and then either give it to someone or throw it out, if you wanted to when you're done with your trip. But to know that I have something I can open up with one hand, I have a blade that I can use for self-defense if someone got close to me and they weren't leaving me alone, that I could get to out of my pocket quickly and open and close this with one hand. Now again, you're going to want to check with your different regions. May not even allow you to have something like this on you, so check before you go. But for me, in my normal everyday, this is something that I carry, and I'm really glad I have it. I know a lot of people don't think a water bottle can be a self-defense tool, but it can be, especially if it's something like this that is titanium or metal. What I love about this one is that it's titanium and metal, and it comes with this little mesh holder that kind of protects it if you wanted it to. But I also think for self-defense. If I had to use this to swing and hit someone and they were to grab a hold of this to get it from me, they're going to grab a hold of this first and slide off, and then I have this to be able to use as a weapon should I need to. This is titanium, and it's nice and pretty heavy because that is an inner liner. This is actually a water bottle that filters water, so it's a great thing to have if you are going someplace where you need to have your water filtered. When I'm in India, this is the thing that I carry a lot because I can filter my water and have a nice water bottle with me that has a handle. And if I needed to, I can actually take this part and use it as a cup to heat up with a fire or something like that. It's a great backpacking water bottle that's metal, so it's going to act as a really great it's going to leave a mark, let's just say that. But again, having this little mesh sleeve on here allows it, if someone again wants to grab a hold of it, they're going to grab a hold of this and you still have your water bottle. When you're doing any sort of travel in your car, you want to make sure that you're situationally aware with that too. Make sure you're looking in the back seat and things like that before you get into your car. Looking around your car, is there, people looking at you, or are there strange cars parked like a white van or something, an unmarked van around you that make you feel uncomfortable, and trust your gut when you have those feelings to maybe walk away and find a public place to get to where you feel more safe. Most of the time rideshare solo is going to be fine, but you always want to make sure that you are doing things like sharing your ride with a couple of people so they know that you've gotten into your Uber or Lyft or whatever ride app you have, who is taking you, where you're headed, and about what time you're supposed to arrive there. And that way, if something happens where you've gone off course, they're going to know, hey, this person's off course or they didn't arrive at their destination. But you need to be proactive in that car as well. So I always put the destination on my phone and maps, and I have the maps up so I know what Google is telling it to do, or Waze or whatever it is, and says it should be going this route. And if the driver goes off the route, I immediately ask, why did you go off route? And I've had that happen to me a couple of times. Most of the time they're like, look, I know there's a different way, a better way. Sometimes these drivers just know shortcuts and can get to the airport, but you let them know, hey, I am aware that you have gone off the map and I want to know why you're doing it, and that I'm sharing my ride with people. Or if you're really uncomfortable, say, I need you to pull over right now, and then get out of the car, get your things out of the car, and then find another ride app or call something else to get you there. So if you're ever uncomfortable, follow your gut. Your gut will be one of the best things you have is your intuition, and get out of the car and get another ride. All right, that's all that I have for personal safety for traveling. And I know there are those of you out there that have some great tips for us. Can you please share those in the comments? Because I want to know. I think everyone in this community will benefit from sharing this information. So please put those ideas and your situations in the comments. I'd love to read those as well. Well, I hope you got some great information from this video. And remember to juice life, drink the joy, keep life simple. Make sure you're safe on your solo travel adventures and enjoy every moment. I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye. Let's see if this works. No, it didn't work. Here we go. Of course it won't go off now. Some alarm this is. So this alarm will